Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night. I am Bigfoot and Michigan Rob. BMR. How is everybody out there? Thanks for coming on in, joining us. Midnight here in the East, 11 Central, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for coming on in, whatever time, day, night, evening, coast to coast, continent to continent. We got a great show for you. I've got, of course, Brandi from the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast. Monica Rollins from Our Paranormal World. Please subscribe to the Blondes and the Booze, Our Paranormal World. Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, Texas Front Porch, all found on YouTube. Had an interesting day today, just 2 seconds ago. So I'm going to get on with it and bring up Brandi and Monica. Hello, Brandi.
Hey. Happy Saturday or Sunday, wherever you're at.
Indeed, yes, wherever you're at. And of course, there's Monica. How's it going?
It's going well. How's it going for you?
Hey, it's going pretty good.
Awesome.
Again, everybody, this is the late night show. Hey, girls, gals. I was just looking at something. I always refer that. Well, this is my newest of 3 shows, and I was just looking. This is already our 26th episode. Have we been doing this really for like a half a year? I mean, it's great. 26 weeks.
Wow.
26 weeks.
You know?
Doesn't seem like that long.
No, it just seems like yesterday. I mean, really, literally, it does to me. I mean, well, that's cool. I like it. But I'm like, man, time goes by. You know, when you get older, you guys, time flies. I remember, you guys know, grade school, junior high, high school. It lasted an eternity, did it not, or was that just me?
The older you get, the faster it goes. That is for sure.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
It's crazy. 26 weeks, you guys. We've been doing this.
I mean, it really does not feel like that long.
It doesn't. I was thinking 2 months, 3 months.
That's what I was thinking.
No, really. I mean, okay, maybe 3 months, 26 episodes, once a week. We haven't missed a week since we started. Hey. Crazy. You know what was crazy too, you guys? I had a hard time starting the show because I went on StreamYard. I'm trying to hit, go live, and it took a few minutes. It sent me a message, odd message. It says, "You are recording too frequently."
What?
I'm like, yeah, well, we pay you for this.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you guys?
I haven't received that. Yeah, that's...
Well, yeah, it just popped up. I'm like, and then I started automatically I'm getting teed off.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to do the show now because it won't let me. It wouldn't turn on. So I guess I would have had it back down, just went on regular YouTube and got off StreamYard, I guess. But so that's weird. Maybe we got to start emptying some of these shows. Maybe it's got to be cleared out or something. I'm not a tech guy. We got to get with Randy, I guess, Brando.
Yeah, you got to get the tech guy in there and let him clean that out and put them away. They might not be cleaned out because through that StreamYard you have all them shows that are being done through that particular StreamYard, and it could be true.
Yeah. I'll later on tonight when the show is over, I'll just give good old Randy a text.
Clear the cache, Randy.
Clear it out, man. I'm not
Go
going to
archive all that stuff.
I'm not going to try and clear anything and screw everything up. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing
Right.
it.
Right.
Donnie Cho's in now. Subscribe to Donnie Cho. Donnie Cho says so. And of course, Paranormal Paul. Subscribe to him as well. Paranormal Paul. I think that's the name of the show. Well, you can type in Paranormal Paul, it pulls up. So yeah, a little disappointed to start today. My Detroit Tigers got eliminated from playoffs, so hey, I didn't expect much. Of course, we got my Lions tomorrow, so on to the Super Bowl. Hopefully, we go. So that was kind of my day. Went to the dentist, and I go to the dentist like every 4 months. I go 3 times a year. and my teeth are in good shape. However, dentist told me I have to get 2 crowns because he says, "Man, you must be
Oh,
grinding the hell out of your teeth." I
Mm.
go, "I've been coming to you for like this is a newer dentist. I've had this guy now for 5 years, never a problem, right?" And he says, "Dude, you are grinding your teeth down to nothing, man." So he's got to fit me for I guess a mouth guard.
Oh,
yes.
I have one of
Oh
those.
man, you have one? It's like
Mhm.
$500. The insurance don't pay it.
Yeah, and they're uncomfortable.
Oh, you're kidding me,
I don't
man.
like.
You
I
might as well
personally
just
don't
go
like
out and get yourself a football
guard for
guard,
real.
and it does the same thing.
And but then he told me this, and then I went to like Myers or somewhere. I rarely go to Walmart, but and they got like mouth guards there for like $20.
Exactly.
You know,
Hmm.
so
And what you're going to do is the same thing. You're going to heat up the thing. You're going to put it in your mouth. You're going to bite down on it until it takes the impression of your teeth.
well,
And
see
there you
this. You
go.
go into the dentist, and they fit it perfectly.
Yeah, they form it.
Suppose to make it maybe comfortable. Now, Monica, did you get yours from the dentist? I
Yeah.
imagine.
Oh yeah, they took the mold of my, upper palate and teeth and all that, and
Yeah.
sent
So
it off. And like 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a tight-fitting mold.
So do you wear it every night before bed?
I'm supposed to, but I don't like it. Chris
Yeah.
wears his every night. I just
So why did you get one? Doctor tell you the same thing? The dentist?
yeah, I grind my teeth. I started grinding my teeth a couple of years ago, and I had cracked a tooth from grinding my
Well,
teeth.
I cracked
Oh.
I cracked two. I cracked 2 in the back. The molars.
Yeah, I had to put
I
a
gotta have.
crown on mine.
That's
I
what I
just
have
had
to
a
get.
crown put on.
Yeah, I have to get 2.
Ugh.
They're right next to each other.
I'm sorry, because that's not fun.
No.
Oh God.
Actually, my tooth just stopped hurting from the crown getting put on.
Was your teeth sensitive to hot and cold and stuff like that?
No, it wasn't. I didn't think I needed, every now and then, because it had the crack in it, if I or I bit down on something or I ate something, it would tweak it. But by and large, it was not a problem. But they were insisting. And I was like, fine, I'll just put the stupid crown on.
Oh, boy.
Right.
So, but it's more sensitive now with the crown on than it ever was with the crack in it.
Well, I do understand the crowns look pretty cool. They're bright, nice and white.
Looks
I
like
guess.
it looks like your other teeth.
Oh,
those
does
are caps. You're thinking about caps,
Oh, okay. No, mine was just
like
crown.
veneers. You're thinking.
Oh
about
no, it's not that. Yeah, okay. It's just
Mhm.
okay. And I suspect they got to drill the whole tooth down to nothing. Oh boy.
It's a fun hour in the chair, and then you get the temp crown until your real crown comes in. Then you got to go back and get all numbed up again for them to put the real one on.
So I'm going to be experiencing some sort of process that I'm going to not like. On top of now getting a uncomfortable mouth guard.
Yes.
Just get the mouth guard. Mouth guard. Any mouth guard. Just get a mouth guard.
Okay.
And wear it as often, it's really, you're supposed to wear them every night.
Well, the dentist told me, man, at the rate you're going, he says, I can't believe how much you sheared them down since last time I was there. And I go, well, last time I was in there was 6 months ago because I missed my one appointment, but I couldn't get back in. But in 6 months, I did some damage, and I don't understand how all of a sudden I'm grinding away my teeth. He said in 5 years all your teeth would have to be replaced. I don't know if he's full of crap or not, but they look fine to me. But I guess it's up in the root areas where it starts cracking and they just crack. I don't know.
Mine went straight through the middle of it. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh boy. So yeah. Coming up
No,
on the
thank you.
holidays, yeah, always something. So
Yeah, you're right. It's always something.
and I've got to fix the plumbing in one of the bathrooms upstairs. Oh boy, that's another mess. Always around the holidays.
Yeah.
Why can't it happen in a crappy month like February?
It's a gift. It's a gift. Home repairs. It's the gift that keeps giving.
It does,
Right?
doesn't it?
Surprise.
Yeah. Well, at least the faucet in the one bathroom, no one really uses too often. So I just shut all the water off to that. I'll deal with that down the road.
There you go.
You know?
Let's put do not use on it. As long as the toilet works, you don't want like a Dumb and Dumber situation.
No, it's they're yeah, no, good Lord, no, that'd be something. That works. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a different. The plumbing is different for both, so which is good. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so yeah, that was the great news that I got, and I just despise going to the dentist, even to get my teeth cleaned.
I do too.
You know, I think everybody does. So
I do too, especially since like they put the crown on me and the tooth hurts worse now with the crown on than it did before the crown. So
you're
now I
just
don't
giving
trust this dentist.
you're just giving me a bunch of great news tonight, Monica. Thanks
Well,
for
that's
all
my
that.
dentist. That's not your dentist. I mean,
My dentist is cool. I do like him. He's really good. And so, but still, it's like, boy. Brandi, crown. Do you have any crown experiences, or do you all good to go with those pearly whites you got rolling over there?
I'm good. I'm good to go. The only fillings that I have are ones that were preventative.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they were just because the like they're right on the side of my teeth, and it was only because the crevice was a little deep, and they were afraid that it could. They're like, well, let's just nip that in the bud, and I'm like, well, let's do that because I don't want it to rot, in case something does happen. But I had them put in years ago, and nothing wrong. I shouldn't say that loud, but yeah.
You're going to be coming back in a month saying, Rob, you SOB, guess what I have to get done?
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, I better not say that too loud.
Better knock on some wood.
Get
those wood gnomes, get those wood elves to give you some luck.
I know. Better find them somewhere. Something. But I do. I've had a terrible week, and I'm gonna tell you what I've done.
Yes.
I have. If I could trip over it, fall over it, hit it, or something fall on me, it has happened this week. I mean, my arm from here on down my bruises are now green, so it looks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's such gross, and then I have it down the side of my legs and everything. I said, I have just beat myself up and I'm all discolored, and I'm like, it's a good thing I don't have a life. I just stay at home. I wouldn't want to have anything special to do because that's kind of gross. I mean, I don't know. Now you really can't see it, but I mean, this is a lump and it's green, and it's pretty. And it was all from different incidents. It wasn't all one thing. Like I just fell over one thing. It was like several.
You were danger prone, Daphne, this week?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that was me. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then another thing that had happened is I've been watching my mushrooms because of all the rain and everything that we'd had, and I was starting to have a mushroom circle form.
Ooh, fairy ring.
Right. And it hadn't quite done it just yet, so I kept mowing it strategically, hoping that the next time they all come up, they'll all form in a circle. I just about had a circle, and one of my daughter's friends' grandmother came over to pick her up, and they were going to go do something. The girls all of them. Anyway, so when she backed up all the way through my circle, killed all my mushrooms.
Oh no.
Oh
yep.
no.
Yep. I thought, you know what? Because they say that's the portal to the fairy world. I was going to go out there with my camera, and I was going to go get in this circle. I was going to see what was going to happen.
Gonna catch some fairies, some fairy action.
And now it's getting too cold at night, so they're not growing. And I'm like, well, there it is. Now I'm gonna have to wait till next year.
There's always next year. You can go out in the woods and find them in the woods.
I could. I'll probably find them more in the springtime, though.
Yeah, you sound like me a little bit, Brandy, because I just said always next year, literally Monday, when I had to pull out the rest of my garden. I tell you, I redo my garden each and every year. I just love doing a garden, right? And I make it bigger each and every year. This year, it's just totally, I overdid it, and all of my cucumbers overgrew, my tomatoes overgrew and covered all my other stuff. So it became like the Amazon jungle. It was like a damp, wet forest. And my leaves got mold and mildew, and I even bought chemicals. Chemicals, right? To, get rid of the mold and stuff. And man, it was just terrible. So I pulled it out a little earlier than usual. And so I'm already planning next year's. This year I'm doing it professionally. I got it allowed on my computer now. I'm getting better on the computer. So my entire garden is on my computer. And I got it measured out how I'm going to plant each and everything next year. So yeah, you get a little technical gardening savvy, I guess.
I'm planting all of my fall plants now.
Hey, what's a good flower? I always have. I don't do a lot of research on it. What's a good flower that you can plant? It's probably too late now, but it comes back every year.
A perennial?
Yes.
Yeah, any
What
type of
zone are you
perennial,
in?
really.
Huh?
What zone are you in?
I forgot. I know what you're talking about.
It would depend on the zone you're in, because some of them you're too cold for a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, I get cold.
Yeah, I know. And I get too hot for a lot of them. Like, it's too hot in my zone.
Yeah, perennials are basically weeds. They just keep coming back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Asters are good. I planted some asters today.
Okay.
And they come back. They're fall blooming.
Well, it's funny because I just planted this this flower that just won't die on me. I got some flowers that still are not dying, but this one, it's cool. It's a tropical plant. It's pretty cool looking. So I keep all the tags, and I was reading, and it says it grows back every year. It says annual, however, can grow back every year, which is kind of
Depending on the zone, probably.
maybe that's what it is. So I planted that yesterday.
Probably not a perennial in your zone if it's a tropical plant.
Well, of course not. Why do we sell tropical plants in Michigan to begin with?
Tropical plants die in my zone in the winter because we get ice storms. Yeah, and occasionally snow. Actually, the last few years we've gotten snow. We've gotten a lot of snow for this area, like not compared to where you are, obviously, but for where we are, we have.
Yeah, well, you say that, but you haven't lived here the last several years. We've had rain and 60 degrees on Christmas Day. It doesn't start snowing here to end of January and through maybe mid-February. That's all the snow we get. In fact, I got rid of my snow. I didn't get rid of, but my snowblower. I haven't used it in 3 years. I've shoveled twice per season the last 3 years. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And back in the day,
the moment you get rid of it, you're gonna have a blizzard.
Oh yeah, well,
that's gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
Go ahead and get rid of it, and then you can have 6 feet of snow. And you can shovel that.
There you go.
Says, hey, thanks, Ristel. He says, I should be in zone 5/6.
You're in 5/6? Okay. So let's see. What color do you like? I'll look up a perennial for you.
Yeah, I like yellows, oranges, purples. Whatever looks
pops. You know what? I planted myself this year, and I think it goes up to that zone, are forsythia bushes. And most of the year, they just look like a regular shrub, right? But in the spring, they're the first to bloom, and their entire stalk is nothing but yellow flowers for like 3 or 4 weeks in early spring. They're really pretty. And I planted 2 of those in my front yard.
Okay.
So those are pretty cool. Let me see. Zone 5. I'm going to do the colder zone.
I have
Amy's-
crepe myrtles. That takes care of me. I've got crepe myrtles. I got flowers.
I've got crepe myrtles on the side of my house.
Amy says, grow some 4 o'clocks. They come back and spread themselves. Multicolors, flowers, hummingbirds. They attract hummingbirds and butterflies. Yeah, that's cool.
There you go.
I'll look that one up.
Native plants are the best because they'll attract your pollinators. Native Michigan, right? Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob.
Yeah, there you go. Southern Michigan.
Let's see. It's recommending forsythia. That
Oh, yeah, that is one I get that don't grow for me.
really?
Nope. The last one I had it for like 10 years and I pulled it out because it died somehow. Can't get it back.
No.
Brandi, Grandizer's asking you, Brandi, do you have an NFL team that you like to watch?
No.
You don't
She
have
likes
a
to-
sports ball
she like-
team?
She likes the Lions.
I'm college ball. I don't like NFL.
She
I don't
roots
like
for the-
professional.
She roots for the Lions. Grand, trust me.
Okay, so here. Asters. Plant asters.
Ah, okay. I will write that down. Seriously.
And that is a native plant for you.
And I can get that in the summer. I can get it in the fall.
Yep. Black-eyed Susans.
Black-eyed kids, you mean?
I remember
black-eyed
living-
kid recurrence.
right. I lived up there. We had lilac bushes that I liked a lot. They smelled so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I do have one on the side of my house. Yes.
Everybody has everything on the side of their house.
Isn't that weird? It's the only plant that I do like it, but it's in a place where I'd never see it unless you physically go over there on the side of the
Right.
house. I'm never on the side of the house.
Right.
You know?
Oh, here's
like
another
what
good
you're
one. White
So-
yarrow. That's a medicinal plant, too.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, and the aster, you can plant it in the spring or fall.
Or fall. You,
Okay.
yeah, you can if you plant it. It's probably starting to get really cold for you now. You might
Yeah,
wait till spring.
I'm gonna wait till spring. It's 50 degrees at night now,
Yeah.
which isn't really. It's not 37, but it's
When you get your first frost,
soon.
yeah, wait till spring
Yeah,
and
it'll
plant
be soon.
asters.
Okay.
And they'll naturally spread. They'll seed themselves. So there you go.
Very good. Well, that's great. So everybody in chat, leave a comment on what Rob should get for next year. That will come back. I've got a couple good ideas, and yeah. So we're done with talking about teeth, flowers. The Tigers lost, Lions tomorrow, and I got to tell you, Brandi, I was on with Tex, as you know, Blondes and Booze, and there was a couple ghost stories I told, but Tex, I don't know if you were still in the chat when I told him. I'm going to get into that a little later, but because I like to hear both your guys' breakdowns because I thought they were really cool and odd, and one of them really scared me about a ventriloquist doll.
Yeah.
Were you in the chat for that one, Brandi?
I think I heard most of that one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that one, and you too, Monica, and see because
Okay.
that was just weird. However, before we move on, I know Brandi. Ghost girl and all, ghost hunter. Well, not really a ghost hunter. Paranormal for 10 plus years. Monica, I don't know that, and I slap me on the wrist if I've forgotten. Have you, before we get on, talking little ghosts, and I also have a cool, I also have two other stories, a dog man and a Bigfoot, but I'll wait till later. We'll start with ghosts and stuff. But Monica, have you ever experienced a ghost? I've experienced many, Brandi, many. I never heard your ghost stories.
I have experienced many a ghost throughout my
Really?
life. Yeah. I've
Really?
seen full body apparitions. I've seen partial apparitions. The first full body apparition I saw, I thought it was somebody running down a trail, hiding behind a rock because it was the middle of the night in an area that was known for like attacks in the past. And I thought it might have been somebody hiding to like attack us, like thinking I didn't see them. And it kind of freaked me out. But then I realized what I saw, and I was like, that was not somebody who was alive.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So that was, yeah. And I think I mean, I'd seen weird things prior to that. I'd seen some strange things prior to that, but that was the first full body apparition I'd seen. Like it was clearly a man, like full body running and hiding.
Now, could you see through it, or was it solid?
He was solid. Like, yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was. So okay. So a friend and I, we were walking this trail at night, and it was in Howarth Park on a trail that connected it to Annandale State Park out in Santa Rosa, right out in California. And the area had been known for attacks. Like it had been known for violence in the past. And, you know, I was a stupid kid. I was 19. It was right before I moved to Texas, actually. It was literally like within days of me moving here. And we were just walking and talking on this trail, and we didn't have flashlights or anything. The moon must have been full because we didn't need the flashlights. We could see the paved path in front of us pretty well. And we were approaching a bend in the road. So it would bend to our right. And there was a little hill to our right, and it was very wooded. And then to our left, it was wooded, and it sloped down to a lake. And at the bend in the path, there was a boulder placed on what would be our left, right, in the wooded area. And I saw a man come like on the trail, and he came from around the bend, but instead of continuing towards us, he ran off the trail and behind that boulder. And I saw him, and my friend didn't, because they were talking. They were looking at me talking, and I stopped walking immediately. And I was looking to see if the guy came out on the other side of the rock, and he didn't. So I was thinking, is this dude like waiting for us to get nearby so we could jump out at us? And so I stood there for a minute, and I was thinking, you know, what did I see? Clearly a man, an adult man. He was wearing like terry cloth shorts and a tank top and like a headband and like a, you know, like a jogging outfit from the 70s, really. And, but then I thought about it, and I was thinking he was all one color. He was all one color, and he was kind of glowing. He was like, not like emanating light, but he was like self-illuminated. It's hard to describe. Like,
Yeah.
He was glowing, but not like emitting like rays of light. He was just illuminated, like brighter in the dark, but he was all one shade. And that's when I was like, oh, no, we got to go. I told my friend what I saw, and I was like, I just saw a man like run off the trail behind the boulder. And I was like, but they were all, I think I saw a ghost. Like, I'm convinced, you will never convince me that wasn't an apparition. Just because they were all just one color and like luminescent. And he never came out. He never went, you know, completed the trail down to the lake. He never went back the way he came. And those were the only two options for him.
Did you hear like his footsteps or anything, or was it silent?
It was silent, completely silent. I just saw the movement, and of course, you know, he was luminous. And if my friend had been looking like ahead instead of at me, he would have seen this guy.
Right. But sometimes when an apparition, you might get both a visual and sound.
Sure. Yeah.
But most of the time you don't. You just get the visual.
Yeah, I think he must have been like one of the murder victims out there, because I want to say that back in the day, people had been killed out there, or they'd found bodies out there. So he might have been one of those. Might have been. I'm not saying he was. I never really looked into it. But I mean, Santa Rosa is a big town. Like, there's murders that happen out there.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, they talk about the killing fields, and I believe the killing fields are actually everywhere.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth.
I mean,
Anywhere.
at one point they thought that the Zodiac, one of the suspects for the Zodiac killings, was a guy that lived out there in Santa Rosa.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
With the population and everything else, that does not surprise me.
So that was my first full body apparition. But prior to that, I had seen partial apparitions, and
Mhm.
you know, I'd heard things and seen glimpses of things. I've always seen shadow people. Always seen shadow people.
Right. Right.
Yeah, the shadow
Well,
people are kind of
yeah,
creepy.
well, a lot of people dismiss them. They're like, what was that? Oh, it's probably nothing. You know, it's probably shadow
Yeah.
or something. You know, they dismiss them. A lot of people see them and don't realize that they do.
Yeah, I think that's a cool point, because I think the average Joe that's not into the stuff like we are have seen them, and they just dismiss it as really nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just light playing.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah, but unless you've seen a full body shadow person like I did, yeah, then you totally would have to. I think your mind would change it a little bit and not dismiss it as whatever,
Right. Right. Mhm.
especially when it's coming at you and stuff. I was always confused. Well, not that I'm confused. People have different takes on when we're talking ghosts here to start the show. Is a ghost a person? And this is for both you guys to chime in on. Is a ghost a person that hasn't crossed over because of his own free will? I mean, do you have the free will to cross over, or why is there all these suspended spirits that are floating about the planet?
Go ahead, Monica.
There's a number of different reasons I think that people could stick. I think some of them, there's just pieces of people. And a lot of times it's just residue. Like what I think I saw, I don't think that is that man's full spirit. I think that that's just something he did. And it could have been, I mean, he could have died of a heart attack on the trail. And I just happened to be there when he was reenacting it, right? It's like when you burn toast, you can still smell the burnt toast, even though you've thrown it away. It's out of the house. It's the same kind of thing, right? It's residual. It's residual haunting. That's what I think he was. I don't think he was an intelligent haunting. Then you've got the intelligent hauntings that can interact with you. You know, maybe they're left behind. I don't think there are many spirits that would choose to stay here. You know,
Right.
I think that, you know, if you're here, I think some people maybe don't know they're dead necessarily. Like in the others, I mean, it's a traumatic thing that happens to you, and you don't necessarily know that you're dead.
Yeah.
And that's when you need the help to realize that it's time to move on.
Right.
And
Right.
then there are the people who, I just don't imagine there are people that choose to stay. I think that you either don't know that you're dead, or there is something. I mean, you hear a lot of like the unfinished business, and maybe there is something to that.
Yeah.
But there's something holding them back
Mhm.
for one reason or another, and it could be a multitude of things that would keep them from crossing over. You know, they know they're dead, but there's something that's preventing them from, like, you know, their murder wasn't solved, or their body wasn't buried properly, or, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, you know, we can always go back to the thing that, you know, that we're all energy.
Mhm.
And that energy never dies. It just kind of transfers itself into something else.
Mhm.
So I believe what you were talking about, the residual thing is that's what we're catching, is a glimpse of that energy that is just replaying a little part that is just going over and over and over like a loop. And I think that's what we're catching sometimes. But if you're going into like religion or theories or things like that, a lot of people say that Earth is purgatory. So if you don't go to heaven, you don't go to hell, you're kind of like in this limbo spot, which could be Earth. That you're just coming back here and you're waiting until you go to one spot or the other. So you really don't have a place to be. It's just, this is like the holding area. That's what some people say. I believe that some people don't go on purpose. And I believe that's usually over loved ones. You know, they don't want to leave them, or, you know, they just refuse to go with the truth. It's like, I don't want to be dead. I want to be alive. I want to stay with people and be around that so I can still feel that kind of, you know, thing every day. Because, you know, in investigations, I find that a lot, that I am not getting people, how old are you? Do you know you're dead? You know, what year is it? I don't get a lot of response with that. But if I start talking with someone else, or I start talking with them about normal things, like, you know, the weird questions I always ask are, do you like peanut butter and jelly? What's your favorite ice cream? Do you like roses, or do you like orchids, or do you like, you know, when I start getting into just the questions like that, like a normal person would ask, then I start getting more of a response. So I believe that those type of spirits are just here because they don't want to go. They want to stay here. They want to feel like they're alive. They want to communicate. They want to feel as if they're still part of this earth and not in that other realm. So that's just my thoughts on that.
Okay.
I think it all makes sense. I think you think if a person chooses to not cross over because of loved ones, do you think those people just hang out, Brandi, and watch them from a distance as an apparition?
Oh, I believe so.
Now, you don't
I
think they
believe
haunt
so.
the people, though, right? You don't think they leave clues for people that they're still around? Because I get that impression once every year. That's about it.
Sometimes I do. You know, it's just kind of like little things would happen, and you're like, it'll make you automatically think of that person who's passed. But I also believe that, you know, when they cross over, they can come back.
I think
Check
that
in.
is probably true.
You know, so I mean, but there are some I believe that just don't want to go. I mean, again, there's no experts in the field. We don't know crap about nothing. And this is all
Yeah,
speculation
well,
and opinion. I don't
speculation,
know.
but the cool thing is, though, I mean, yeah, a lot of this all is right, but the cool thing is we've all experienced ghosts of some sort.
Right.
Like, how would you characterize the ones I saw in the bar? I know they were from a different time period. I know they were during the Prohibition, and I
Yeah.
know that they looked at me, and I seen physical things happen.
But, you know,
I think they were maybe didn't want to leave that bar, according to maybe you, Brandy. That's their favorite hangout over the
Maybe.
year.
it could be. That could be their happy spot. That's where
Right.
they felt the most joy or whatever, you know, or it, the thing is you think they looked at you, but you have to question that. Is like, or were they seeing someone else, you know, in that particular loop or whatever, that they have looked at somebody else, or something got their attention and you just happened to walk in at that point. We don't know. But all I know is that maybe that was their happy spot. That's just what they chose to do.
Yeah.
You know? I think that friends and family cause a lot of hauntings. And I don't know whether, if we're manifesting these our loved ones to come back, you know, if we're doing this to ourselves because we want them so much to be with us now, we don't ever want them to go. I mean, that could be a thing,
Sure.
you know, but sometimes we don't know if that's exactly what we're manifesting, though.
Right.
You know, it's all up in the air, but I mean, that's a possibility.
I think that I think they can. I think a lot of like I told you, sir. I'm not going to tell it again about the flagpole with my dad.
Yeah.
You heard that, Monica, right? Did I tell you that?
I don't know. I didn't.
I'll briefly tell it to you. Brandy knows it. When my dad died, he always put out the American flag on the front porch, and I was, you know, putting out the American flag, for back before my mom moved in, and I was at the house, and I'm like, "Hey, put up Dad's flag, right?" She asked me to come over, and he had this little pin. I mean, a microscopic pin. He rigged it because my dad was a machine repairman. My dad created a lot of gadgets, right, to fix things. So, but it was this little stupid pin, but it held. He put a spot in this clamp where it would hold the flag. But again, so small. If you dropped it, good luck finding it. And it just so happens the top of my mom and dad's front porch was made of like stone, so there was like a lot of indentations in it and like tracks. And then also in the front of the porch there was a big set of bushes. So you drop it anywhere there, you're not going to find it ever. So I went over there to put up the flag. I dropped the damn pin. Of course. Can't find it. I'm on my hands and knees. Can't find it. This is not too long after my dad passed. And then I had even went through the bushes, got all cut up, scraped up, looking for this. And I just got frustrated. 2 or 3 hours. I was, so upset. And I tried to, then I went to the hardware store, tried to explain what I needed. Nah, they couldn't help me. So I went in the basement of my parents' house, and I said, "Dad, if you're around, man, I can't do this flag. So I'm sorry." I said, "I'm going to go out there one more time." First time I really talked to my dad, too, after he died, to be honest with you. Like trying to communicate, I guess, if I was. I go up on a porch, and, within, I'm up there for a few seconds, not even a minute. I happen to look on top of the porch. I see this little gleam, this little glisten of light just popped out of nowhere, which was odd to begin with. And then I look down, I get on my hands and knees, and I go, "I'll be damned. There was that pin." Yeah. And I know it wasn't there. I spent 3 hours, with a
Right.
micro, I knew I did not miss it. I combed that for hours. I even brought out a magnifying glass on top of the porch, right? And I think that was a positive ghost experience with my father.
That's great.
So that was. I think he's somewhere. He's probably up in. I don't know where he is. But I'm assuming heaven, right? And he
Right.
came down to help out.
It's what you hope for. It's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know where anybody's going to go, right? I mean, we don't know what but I'm guessing he's in heaven. As far as I know, him my whole life, he was a good guy. So, but yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then, Brandy's away. You heard the one about the little crucifix?
Mm-mm.
I don't wear jewelry for the most part. I've got a cool necklace, silver one, and I got like a matching, for the wrist, right? Whatever you call that chain. I got that. Okay. Yes, thank you. But I don't wear like anything else. Dude. Crosses. I don't wear stuff like that. I don't wear rings, And I'm in the Kroger. I always have weird experiences at Kroger. I'm sitting at Kroger, and I'm looking for something. I don't know what the hell it was. Doesn't matter. And this older woman, she's maybe 8 feet from me. And I'm wearing this jacket, okay? And this jacket was, I've had for a couple of years. I just had washed it for one, and I pulled it out of the dryer, and I went through all the pockets and things like that. And pockets are empty. It was like a windbreaker type jacket, that you wear, like right when it's a little cool in the spring.
Right.
Nothing in the pockets, zip up pockets, stuff like that. So I'm in there looking for something, and this older lady, man. And you gotta remember too, we're into like how the aisles are maybe 60 feet long, so we're like right in the middle of the aisle. And she's, "Hello, may the Lord be with you." And she's like 8 feet. I said, "Well, thank you, man." I'm like, "Same to you." I mind my own business. I'm minding my own business, looking for whatever I'm looking for. Then, for whatever the reason, I reach in my left hand pocket. I unzip my coat. I'm reaching in. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but it did. And there was a little crucifix in the pocket. In fact, I kept it, and I will keep stuff like that.
Mhm.
This was in my pocket. It's a little Brandi knows the story. Little cross.
Right.
And where it comes from, I don't know. So I go to look to that woman, but she was not by me, and she's like disappeared. She's gone. I'm not suggesting she's a ghost, but I know she couldn't have traveled, 30 feet, 60 feet in 5 seconds either, So I thought that was a kind of a weird experience. So
Yeah.
but I kept it.
Wow.
I just kept it. I felt
Sure.
like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep this.
If you had a good feeling from it, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, nothing evil. I've had it now for a few years, so. And then I've had the other ghost experiences, but I'm not gonna tell mine. I got a couple stories. I want you guys what you think about. In fact, I got 2 of these from a guy that. Oh, Rob, I see, because I've been doing you guys. I've been doing a series of Halloween videos, short stories, encounters, and things. I've did one on witches. I've done one on haunted lighthouses of Michigan, Baba Yaga, and just recently some ghost stories. So this guy sends me an email. These are kind of short, Rob, but I put these on Reddit. He's telling me, but nobody, gave me any responses. I've been following you for a couple of years, so I said, well, hell, I'm going to send it to Rob. So he sent me a couple short emails. This is not what I talked about Brandi on your show, but this is something that I just got that I'd never opened until like tonight. And so they kind of worked out perfect. So this guy says, so I'm gonna tell both of them because they're both short. In fact, I didn't have a chance to memorize them, but I can read them right quick. He goes, "Hey Rob, long story short, the house I grew up in was haunted by something. My mom, my brother, and grandmother, and myself all experienced things in this house, seeing things, hearing chairs move, growls. I felt like I was being chased, all these things. Ghosts and paranormal things aren't out of the norm, I guess, at least not for my family, I do believe. Well, before my brother and I were born, and not long after my mom moved into the house, and then he tells me she became a Christian. Who cares, right? I mean, maybe it's part of the story. I don't know. She was walking around like she saw my mom was walking at a park, maybe 300 yards from our house. She was walking around the lake and saw a woman ahead who was walking in the opposite direction that she was going. She came within maybe 8 or 10 feet of her. My mom looked up to smile and politely say, hey. My mom told me when she looked up, the woman had eyes were wide open, kind of yellowish. She stared at my mom with this wicked grin, and she had a mouth full of jagged teeth.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Ugh.
Oh, man. Okay. And it says, in fact, my mom got chills and drew me a picture of it. And when I saw the picture, Rob, I got chills. Guy goes on to say, she was like, what the hell is this? And she keeps walking away from this woman. 20 feet away, the mom turns around and this woman isn't anywhere in sight. Okay. I guess alluding to it disappeared. Who knows? The very next morning, when my mom got up at sunrise, the creepy woman was standing at the edge of her driveway, exposing those same jagged teeth. Does not know if my mom thought this was a stalker that got in a car and followed her home. Does not know. But apparently something had to happen because she didn't see her moments after she was exposed at the park. Now the woman says to the mom, this creepy woman now at her driveway, I know what you did, Sally. Okay. Well, as it turns out, the lady's name is Sally. The creepy woman with the creepy teeth floors the mom. The mom looks down and goes into her purse to get her cell phone to call 911, her husband or whatever. Going down to the purse, looking for a phone. She looks up. Now this woman is gone, much like the last time. So now the mom starts having these dreams of this old creepy woman. And then the family got together to kind of, brainstorm what's going on here. So after doing it, the family got together after doing a deep dive on all this. The mom, it says, was when the mother was about 16 years old, her and a bunch of her girlfriends were accosted by another bunch of girls, ruffian type girls, right? And they were just rebel type chicks and they started a fight with them. And one of these girls had a set of brass knuckles and punched this one girl square in the mouth, knocking out and smashing up all her teeth. This girl's name is Sue, as he tells me. And the parents of Sue did not have any good insurance, so couldn't get her teeth fixed right away. Okay. So for a couple of years of high school, she was made fun of and ridiculed. And this is 16, 17, 18 years old. And then they all graduate high school. So after doing further research, she thought maybe it's this Sue. Is this the ghost of Sue? But then they looked it up, and her classmate Sue had passed away at the age of 21. So my first reaction was, I don't know why she would have accosted Sally for maybe not helping her. Maybe this is the ghost. They got the teeth punched out when they were kids, and she's kind of come back to haunt her. That's just what I gather. I could be all wet. I don't know, but that's kind of odd, eh? And it kind of, when they did this little research, it kind of matches a little bit.
So, was it her friend that had her teeth knocked out, or was it
her friend Sue? Yeah,
gang?
no, it was their friend Sue. They were all
Okay.
friends, and these other girls, blah blah blah, took care of Sue's teeth. Yeah.
Okay, so I know she scared her by showing her the teeth, but did she do anything like negative? Did she do anything aggressive?
This is the entire story you sent me. As told you guys, that's it.
So, I mean, maybe she was showing her the teeth so she'd know who it was. She could put two and two together. I mean, just because it scared her doesn't mean that the girl was trying, like, malicious.
I don't get the comment where he writes in there, "I know what you did." That to me is
That's weird. That's creepy. Sure.
She didn't do anything. She got her ass kicked just like you. Unfortunately, you lost your teeth.
Well, I mean, she says, "I know what you did." That's not necessarily referencing that fight. It could have been anything along the path of her life. Since she crossed over, because she wouldn't know what she did prior to her death. So it would be anything after that. Would be my
I think Sally probably did help Sue and probably the other girlfriends, but maybe Sally's got some other dark secret that she didn't expose to the family.
Yeah. Sally's got a bone in her closet, would be my
guess. Brandi.
That's a tough one for me. That's what it sounds like, though. It sounds like Sally may have an issue or two.
I mean,
making me laugh, cough. Yeah, you know.
I mean, it's so. You're right. The "I know what you did" thing is throwing me completely off. I mean, because when you first started describing this person with the teeth and all the thing, and I'm thinking a hag right off the bat. I'm thinking a hag.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I think Sally.
You think Sally's got some hidden bones, as Monica said, in the closet?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he made it a point to say that his mom found God, right? His mom found Jesus.
Yeah, well,
okay, so what was she doing prior to that made it noteworthy that she found Jesus?
Oh, you know,
I mean, was she a lady about the town, and that's why the "I know what you did" thing?
Yeah.
You know,
I know what you did last summer.
Very few people make it to old age without a bone or two in the closet.
Oh,
all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It just depends on the depth of the bone.
Yeah. Well, You know,
the skeletal bones are pretty large, it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Was it just a femur or was it the tibia?
I mean, was it the whole skeleton? Was it
your middle finger digits? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you want to get kind of crazy, could have been the spine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could have been I mean, if something came to me and said, I know what you did, it'd take me a minute because I'd be like,
I would take a
you're
minute.
going to have to like be a little more specific.
You're gonna have to stay a little bit because I've done a lot.
You have to dial that down.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to
You're not
reel it
creeping me
into me
out.
because I am not getting this.
You're trying to scare me. We're going to have to dial it in a little more.
Right? Right? So I've done a lot of stuff. So what would it be?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to email this guy back. The guy didn't respond to him. I said, yeah. I just said, maybe I'll do it on a show if I can fit it in. And he put this on Reddit, and I looked it up. It's on Reddit too, kind of. And nobody responded to this guy. He just put it out like 2 days ago. So I'm going to send this guy an email back. You better further investigate your mother.
Yeah. What
Better
did you
swing open
do?
that closet, dude.
Yeah. Do you really want to go?
It's like
He's probably watching the show because he did
He
say
probably
watch
does
it.
not want to know.
I would not want to know personally.
yeah.
No.
Like I said, are you a lady about the
Leave it
town?
buried.
Or-
Leave it
Yeah.
buried.
Just like my mother. I got my mother. My mother was born because my grandmother was a mother about town. We did that story last week.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But I
think you
mean,
gotta-
you're right. I mean, the story is something. Like I said,
It is something, and
they're say something.
and I think what I learned from this, and I kind of thought the same way you guys did after I read this earlier today. Something up with mom, just because to say that I know what you did, because I think she went to the aid of her friend. I think all friends do.
Sure.
I just think most friends, if they're your friend. So yeah, so
I mean,
Mama's got some dark.
hooked up with her boyfriend in high school, and she's like, oh, I know what you did.
Oh, wow! Yeah.
Right.
You were
Right.
with little Jimmy after class underneath the
Yes.
bleachers.
I know what you did.
I can see now.
That's it.
Maybe she went out with her husband after she died, or her boyfriend after she died, or something, and she's like, bitch, I know what you did. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, right, no, right, yeah.
I forget we're on Rob's show. Sorry.
Well, you can say bitch and shit, but we just don't, because YouTube, I don't know.
I try not to.
I try not to, yeah. Me and Chris
We try to refrain.
me and Chris me and Krista last Tuesday, I think it was, on our show, or the Tuesday before, we talked all government conspiracy with the weather and stuff for a while to start the show, my video got taken down for 48 hours, and I had to put a claim in to get it put back up.
For talking about weather conspiracies?
Calling out the government as a bunch of a-holes, pretty much.
Well, I
But
mean,
people do that all the time on YouTube, and I got
Free
hit for it.
speech. It's free speech.
Yes.
You can say what you would like.
you're impeding my,
You're not making any threatening
So yeah, I lost 2 days.
remarks or anything. It's just like you're just talking about what is being talked about.
Yeah. So I
Hot
lost.
topic.
I lost
a hot
2 days.
topic.
Yeah, I lost 2 days of people watching it because of those idiots. I don't mean you, YouTube. I love you. You're probably watching this now.
don't take it down.
Ever forbid.
We love you, the U
Yeah.
of two.
You're so great, YouTube.
Yeah, I've even started calling it the U of two for a reason.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Just like
I,
we're starting to call everything the book of face.
The Book of Face.
The Book of Face. I don't even go on the Book of Face just to market my stuff now. Really. I never did anyways. But
yeah, I mean, I have a lot of I have friends out there, and then I have and then I have like people in chat, and then other people that I have met these last couple of years that are on there, and they're even getting drowned out by just nonsense on it. So I'm just like, I kind of have to keep scrolling through, and then when I get tired, I just shut it off. I'm like, and there's probably not even any updates, because I like to hear about it, what everybody's doing.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Heck, I like to know what you had for dinner.
None of my friends. Yes. Well, yeah. Oh my gosh. No
I
wonder
do.
why. Well, it's cool to see that, but this one girl I know, before I ever went on Facebook, she lays out her itinerary, where she's going, what time she's going to be there. I said, okay, you'll pick up a stalker. Uh-huh. you just lay out what you're doing. There's no one at your house right now. Where do
Right.
you live again? I'll be over. I like that blah 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 you got in your living room. Anyway, you know,
Right.
not that I
No.
would do anything like that, but I'm just trying to prove a point that you should not give out your information. Don't tell people you're not at home on Facebook. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. No, I usually don't tell anybody where I'm at till after I'm already done and back home.
There you
Yeah.
go. And then you put out the picture where you were when you're
Mhm.
home,
Right.
like most people do. I thought I found this to be creepy, Brandy. I did this on the Blondes the other day, and I want your guys' takes on it. This is short. I think if I recall, it was some guy who lives in Ohio. He was driving through the cemetery with his 3-year-old son, Miles, if I recall. He was sitting in the back seat, all bundled up in the, whatever you call it, kiddie
Car seat.
restraint car seat. There you go. Thank you. And so this guy is explaining that this cemetery is really beautiful. Looks like a giant garden. Flowers all over the place. Very nice, I mean, I guess cemeteries, have a certain look, depending where you go. And so as they're driving through this cemetery on their way to wherever they're going, the little kid, Miles, in the back seat says, first of all, the dad says he was just, playing, singing, talking out loud, real happy kid. And then all of a sudden he kind of points into the cemetery and he says to, "Hey, Daddy, look at all those people." To the dad, right? Dad's name's Jeff. I just remembered. Okay. Jeff turns to Miles, looks around. He doesn't see anything. Doesn't see even one person, nothing. So he's a little confused, a little concerned. And he asks his son, Miles, what are you talking about, son? All those people over there, Daddy. There are a lot of Grammys over there. Look at him, pointing at him. Now Jeff's freaking out now. His kid is, adamantly saying he's seeing something, and he even takes it a step further and says grandmothers, like a multitude of them, right? And then the dad asks the son, "What are they doing?" He goes, "They're just standing around looking down at the grass." So of course the dad's unsettled by this conversation with the kid, and he speeds up through the cemetery and he goes home. And so later the same day, he says his son Miles, he's watching TV. When he turned to his dad and he said, Dad, those grandmas weren't alive. So he's like, has my kid got that sixth sense or whatever you want to call it? I don't know. Pretty odd. I think kids can see a lot of things that adults can't see. Some.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids can see stuff. I was one of those kids.
And I had a debate with Tex. That's why I wanted to tell that again, because I said, Tex, kids 3 years old, they don't lie. Now, I'm not a parent, okay, but I've been around like my nieces and nephews ever since birth, and my best friend's kids since birth. And I know when they get to that age where they're telling a tall tale, but not at 3 years old. From what I've experienced, I could be wrong. I don't think kids make that crap up. And I think there's a point, but I do know that they don't know the difference between a lie or the truth either.
Right. And how would a child of 3 years of age know about people who are alive or who have passed? How would they know that to say something like that? For me, I would lie about a cookie. Did you take a cookie? No. Didn't take a cookie.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I see
But
that,
if I'm
yes.
sitting there and explaining something to you about, hey, you see those grandmothers over there? Do you see those grandmothers? They're all over there. It's just kind of like when I told my mom when I was very little, I don't even remember the story. She had to tell me about a red rocking chair that I'd had, and I wouldn't sit in it. And I said, because hers is sitting in it. Hers is sitting in it. That's what I always kept saying, is hers is sitting in it. Well, one time I had said that and the thing started to rock. in front of my mother. So, I mean, I was finally validated when the thing started to rock, because she said, I used to say it all the time. I'm not sitting in that. No, she's sitting in that. I'm not doing it. I may lie about a cookie, but I'm not going to lie about a ghost. Not at 3 years old. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm. There's no way. I mean, that's why you see so many videos out there of these kids that are waving and talking to things that are not there, but they are reacting as if it were real. Like they're standing right there with them, like it would be a person standing right there. That's how they're reacting. Like there was the one of the little girl who was at I think her grandmother's gravesite, and she was blowing kisses and talking to her grandmother. And that was how she used to react to her grandma when she would talk to her when she was alive. So she was exhibiting the same type of behavior, and she couldn't have been more than 2.5, maybe. I mean,
Right.
she was still in pull-ups, I knew. So I believe that children can see. It's just we get to a point where we hit puberty or scary movies, which one you get first, I guess. And we kind of lose all of that. It kind of gets shut off to a point, and it's very rare that these kids keep it on. That's why kids, I believe, have a lot of abilities, and some keep them and most don't. I know my youngest daughter did. My older two didn't. They kind of just shut that off.
Right.
So it just depends. And and with me being in it my whole entire life, and I've treated them just like my mother and family have treated me, that this is no big deal, that this stuff happens. It is what it is. It's life. So, but my older two kids quit seeing things. My youngest one didn't. So, and I guess that was just because I'm here and I'm encouraging it. I'm like, well, it is what it is. It's not a big deal.
That is kind of weird too, because I remember I told you guys this when I was growing up with my brother. I always saw the ghosts in my bedroom, which in fact today I know they're ghosts. I saw the same ghosts when I got married and when I always wake up my brother, look on the wall, you see that? And I know it was a ghost for sure, right? And then when I got married, the same ghost followed me. I mean, I lost that ghost for a while, right? I saw the ghost 5, 6 years old several times. Then it kind of faded away and it was done. And I was like, oh, wow, my mom and dad were right. I was dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the same ghost appeared to me some 20 years later, and I wake up the wife, I go, look, you see that? And it was the same ghost I saw when I was 5 and 6. And I'm like, look, do you see that? She's like, you're crazy. A year later, then what I get then she saw the shadow people. But that's a different story. It's not related. But what I'm saying is people see things that others cannot.
Yeah. And we don't know how how time goes by in that other realm. I mean, that could have been a blink of an eye to that particular entity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could have just went, oh, there he is, little boy. And then, they turn around and then they go back and then you're grown. I mean, we don't know how time progresses over there. So you just never know.
Talking about time, how it crosses, it kind of a nice segue to this thing that I heard on some podcasts. I'm just pulling bits and pieces from this, but I thought it was interesting that there was this girl who was communicating with her grandfather, talking to her grandfather, and had a good relationship with her grandfather. And then one day, and this was when she was again a younger girl, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one day she asked her mom, "Where's Grandpa?" And the mom says to the daughter, "Where's Grandpa?" "What do you mean, honey?" "Well, yeah, he stopped talking to me." And the mom looks at her daughter like, "I don't understand. Your grandfather died in 1987. And you were born in 1986. So, and I'm like, I was listening to this podcast. I forgot the name of it. I'm like, whoa, that's 1 year. She's been talking to her grandfather for 12 years. He was dead for a year. He died in 87. She was born in 86, but yet has these continual conversations and thought she was talking to him up until the point where she asked her mom, "Where's grandpa been?" Now that's kind of weird, man.
Well, to me, I have too many questions about stories like that because they are so vague. I would be like, well,
Yeah.
how come you
Again, it
didn't
was
ask
on
me
this
about?
podcast. Look, this
Yeah,
podcast
I'm
was
like,
like 90 minutes long, but I didn't listen to the whole thing. I
right.
just
I was like,
wonder if that even goes on.
right. I was like, why
That's like
couldn't I have
that's like a
seen
lost
Grandpa?
memory, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Why couldn't I have seen Grandpa? Why, why have I not seen him? Da 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 da. I mean, you have all them questions, but I mean, is it possible? I suppose, but I mean,
Do you
I
think
would
it's
have had questions.
possible? Do you guys think it's possible before you're even born you can communicate with a lost soul when you're in your mom's womb?
That I don't know. I don't know if you're too busy cooking or what's happening. I mean, because you.
I mean, it depends at what point your soul inhabits your form. I mean,
I was just getting ready to say that.
I mean, when does that happen? At birth?
Yes.
Before?
It was the moment you're conceived that you're supposed to have your soul. I mean, in some religions, others it's not until later. Like the day you're born is when you get your soul. It just depends on what you believe in at that point.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there. I didn't want to spend too much time with that because I'm with you guys. It's probably just, I don't know about that.
Well, the Sassy says the soul is infinite, and you're absolutely correct, but your meat sack isn't.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Your meat sack isn't. So, it has to transfer. And like I said, some religions say you don't get your soul until the day you're born. And then some say at the day you're conceived. So it's just basically what your belief is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a quick question just to see your knowledge. I'm testing both of your knowledge of me. See how well you know me. Now, Monica, I might give you a break on this one.
Okay.
What are the two things that I'm most scared of, Brandi?
Spiders and witches.
No, Monica, but I do not like spiders. I detest spiders. Yes, witches. I kind of dig witches. I refer to you three as my little witches. In the text.
Well, that's because we've been called that maybe a time or two.
But I meant it in a nice. I meant it in a nice way with you three, because there's good and bad witches. You know that.
Yeah.
I won't put you on the spot too long, Brandi. I can't stand clowns and dolls.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about supernatural things.
No, well, because they're both supernatural.
Well, they can be. Yeah.
They can
be. Yeah, they can be. And I'm not a particular person who likes dolls.
No, I think they're creepy. I did play with G.I. Joe growing up, but I'm talking about like other dolls.
Like the creepy.
Yeah.
Like I have
dolls. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I have some porcelain dolls.
Yes, those are creepy.
And they're beautiful. But do you know where they are? They're in the original boxes.
Well, oh, good.
Not displayed. They're in the box. That's where they're probably ever going to stay until I can pass them off. I'll give them to somebody in my will. Here, take these. Have fun.
Enjoy that haunted mess.
Right. Take those. And the bad thing is that one of them was given to me by this older lady, a very dear friend of mine. And it was back when I had my first daughter and I hadn't seen her in years. And she finally contacted me and asked me, what my address was. She wanted to send me something. I said, okay, no problem. So I sent her, my address and everything. And I had just had my little girl, my first baby, first girl. She sent me a porcelain doll.
Mm.
Not even a year later, she had passed. She passed away. I have never taken that doll out of the box. Never.
So, you know what I thought was creepy, and you may remember this from the 80s, those porcelain like clown doll masks that used to be on everybody's wall.
Oh,
I could not figure out why people wanted those.
I have no idea what the draw was with those, but I'm like, oh, hell no.
They were creepy. I mean,
I know. I mean, I have
dolls and
creepy
clowns don't
things
freak
on
me
my
out
wall.
particularly. Yeah, but who wants a blank, like eyeless mask just
No, I don't.
staring at you from the
No,
wall?
I literally have creepy things on my wall, but it's stuff my children have drawn. If that sounds weird. Does that sound weird?
No, not if you have kids.
Well, hang on. Oh, thank you, Scott's Life. That was cool.
Thanks, Scott.
Awesome.
Pirates. Hang on.
Yes.
I've got it right here. I'm gonna black out a second.
get
I'm gonna
it.
show you what my child drew me. I'll be right back.
Get it. That's good. Thanks, Scott's Life. 5 new BMR Pirates. Arr.
Awesome.
I forgot to mention that you can become a pirate today if you choose to join. Join the many. Join the few. Depends on your.
Be the brave.
That's right. Super chat's also a great way to support what we do. Thank you to Scott's Life. Monica, me and dolls. The reason I'm scared of clowns. Well, she's back right. Let's check this out.
I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it. I like it, kind of.
Yeah, that's
I can't see
Nightmare Before Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's salad.
I kind of like that, Brandi.
Isn't that cool?
That's amazing talent.
It looks like a nice shield. Very talented. Yes, indeed.
Well, that was my oldest daughter.
I like that. Wow.
She was in high school and they had an art project. They had to draw a picture without using paintbrushes. They had to use other materials. So she's used everything on it. She said cotton balls, Q-tips.
Mixed media.
Yeah, she had to use anything but paintbrushes. So that's what she did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Poncho, you can become a BMR Sierra Sounds. That sounds cool too.
BMR Sierra Sounds. But I mean, like I said, if it's something creepy my kids did, yeah, it's on the walls. I love that stuff.
I think it would be creepy if your kid came home and drew you a picture with a man and a woman, a boy and a girl, with a knife in the kid's hand, decapitating the head of the woman.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
that would be cause for concern because
be a therapist's appointment as well.
Well, let me tell you, I bring this up for one reason only. The kid that murdered and shot 12 of his classmates had those drawings in his house when they investigated his home.
That means the parents weren't looking.
Yeah,
the parents bought him the gun. The parents were both sentenced to 20 years in jail. The son got life. He's 16. They set a new precedent, the statute here in Michigan. This happened an hour where I live. A boy went in with a gun, toting a gun, and killed all the 12 classmates. This was 2-3 years ago. He got tried, he sentenced to life. Parents were found responsible for his son because the kid had all these drawings about murder. He literally wrote murder in his coloring books. He was just a psycho kid. And the mom, by the way, the kid was looking at ammo on his cell phone in his class. And the teacher busted the kid. And you know what the mom told the kid when they called her into the principal's office, when the principal wanted to show what the kid was looking at in school? Ammunition for a gun. The mom told the kid later, you got to be careful next time you're in school so they don't bust you. Come on. Whole other story. I mean, whole different subject with these. Anyway, the kid, in Michigan, yes. So he, unfortunately, this brutal murder. He had all these strange things in his bedroom, strange parents. The parents fled. They hid from police and they were brought into custody. So that's why they're 20 years in jail. Kid got life in jail. Yeah. And I wasn't being funny. I kind of brought that picture up. Yeah, that's what that kid did, Brandi. And he went on and did a horrendous crime.
Well, it's strange, and I guess I knew that my oldest daughter, she was going to be on the not on the what you're talking about, but I knew she was going to be on the dark side. She was going to be more like me, even though she cut off the whole seeing ghost thing. She was in preschool, and I have to tell this story. I just have to tell this story. And all the kids were sitting in a circle, and the parents were waiting outside the classroom. It was the end of the day. We're there to pick up the kids in preschool. And the kids are going around saying what their favorite animal is, the lion, giraffe, dog, cat. My child says, werewolf.
Okay.
I thought, well, there's my kid. Ding. And I was like, well, there it is, because I am an avid fan of Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo, and they've always got the werewolf on Scooby-Doo all the time.
Oh, yeah, I love Scooby-Doo.
And boy, she said her favorite animal was the werewolf. And I'm like, kids, you're not watching Scooby-Doo. You're not paying attention to what Scooby-Doo is really about. She just noticed the animal. I was like, well, there it is. But I think from listening to true crime and reading true crime and just all the stuff on true crime, there should have been some kind of build up or lead up to what this child did. You know what I mean? There are signs. They just don't do it out of the blue. There are signs, and you just have to know what you're looking for. Of course, we always talk about the animal mutilations, the depression, and the just the whole withdrawn thing. There are signs. Just the parents aren't paying attention. They probably weren't looking for those drawings either. The child probably just put them in a book, and the parent never looked.
Yeah, and he had stuff on the computer, but again, it was just horrible.
Yeah, because I all of my kids, I'm like, what the hell is this? You want to explain that? You know what I mean? It's like, let's talk about this.
When I drew growing up as a kid, I remember drawing cars most of the time. That was what I drew: cars, Corvettes to be precise, and then trucks.
Okay.
Yeah, normal, right? I drew
Normal
that
stuff.
already.
That's totally normal.
Yeah, average, kid, dude, growing up. I gotta tell this other story though. I brought it. That's why I mentioned I hate dolls and your clowns. It is freak me out, you guys. But so, this one thing I told this the other day, and I wanted you guys got. It's kind of funny but creepy all at the same time. It's about a ventriloquist doll. And this guy told this story. This girl, her name's Marty. She told this on some podcast about when she was a fan of the ventriloquist in the 1990s. I think his name was, I don't know, Edgar Bergen or something. I'm not a fan of ventriloquists, so I don't know, nor do I care, right? I don't like that stuff. She says when her father came home, she says when her father came across a ventriloquist doll at some thrift shop, but it was more kind of along the lines of had a lot of magic items in there, right? And this is in California. This is in Santa Rosa, California.
That's where I grew up.
Wow. Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, okay, cool. And maybe this was you then. I don't know. No. Bought the doll for his daughter. No, yeah. The father, Marty's the girl who's telling the story. Her father back then bought her the doll. Okay. So when the sale is being rung up, the kid at the register said, if you reach inside this doll, it'll talk to you. He goes, well, no kidding. You reach inside the back of the head and I talk. But he thought it was very creepy and chilling. He just thought it was odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the kid says at the register, but it comes alive. Okay, thank you, freaky kid. Just give me my doll. I'm getting the hell out of here. Kind of laughed it off. So according to Marty, the girl who the dad bought this for, was really happy. It was cool. She was playing with it. Became obsessed with this doll, right? Before long, strange things started happening. But they thought, and then they started thinking maybe this doll had something to do with it. But this doll had that hard plastic head. I mean, it's just a doll, right? Lifeless doll. So, but it seemed like every room this doll was in, something weird would happen. So the family decided to just take this doll and put it upstairs in the attic, and maybe all this weirdness would go away. I'm not going to get into the weirdness. It was just little dumb stuff here and there, right? It would be like cupboards would open most nights, and every night. Okay, no, I'm going to backtrack. They put the doll in the upstairs. These little things were happening, these little sounds, just a creepiness this family felt. So they put the doll in the attic, but now, a week later, like cupboards would open, and this doll would appear in the kitchen where the cupboards were open, and nobody went up there to grab it and bring it there, right? They would hear walking around down the hallways, thinking it's the dog, but the dog was nestled in bed with the kids, right? So other occurrences. I'm trying to remember this. So other occurrences started to happen, and then one night when the Marty and the dad were alone in the house, they're alone with the uncle in the house, I think it was. And the uncle heard Marty's father calling out his name from the living room. But I guess Marty wasn't even home or something like that. But anyway, the long story, I forgot a lot of this story. I apologize for that. I forgot. But what happens was they thought this doll was evil, so they now try to kill this doll. Kill it, as I remember they're saying. And they put it in a barbecue, the gas grill, they set it on fire, and they're saying this thing wouldn't burn. They tried to saw it, and the thing would not saw. It would not cut. It would not cut in half. So, and they're like, what is going on with this doll, right? And they said the weird thing about this entire incident, and I missed most of the story. That sucks, but they tried to destroy this thing, and they said it was indestructible. So one day, they said, you know what we're doing? Screw this. We're taking it out we're putting it in our dumpster, or our garbage can for the dump to pick up, and the truck will come down the street. So they take this ventriloquist doll, they put it away in the trash, put it on the street. So now the trash man's coming down the street, and they see the contents being emptied. You know how they have the big things, they pick it up and dump it. You guys all have that, right? They dump it into the truck, and they come back. He comes back to the he goes to get his trash can. The doll's not in the trash can. Oh, good. It's finally gone. Got rid of it. Something simple like that. Goes back in the house. Goes back up in the attic, and there the doll's sitting in the attic, he says. Now, that I've heard in stories and movies I've seen. I don't know if this happened or not. It was on this podcast I was listening to. But that would creep me out, though. And again, I have a phobia with the doll anyway. If you had heard similar stories of that, or you think this guy was just probably wanted 15 minutes of fame?
I've heard similar stories of it.
Okay.
But not back in the attic or anything.
The Annabelle story's similar to that, isn't it?
I've never watched it because, again,
I mean, you've got to understand, you can't just throw it away. I mean, that's the rule number one. You can't throw it away. You can't burn it. It's kind of like you have to bury it. You have to use salt. You have to use iron. You have to bury it,
Yeah.
in the earth. Make sure it's covered up. Da da da. So many feet deep. Blah blah blah. You have to do all of these things, not just throw it in the trash. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but to me, I thought it was odd. The guy says he puts it on his grill to burn it. It wouldn't burn, and it
Why
wouldn't
would you put it
cut.
on your grill? You'd
Yeah,
run a perfectly good grill.
hey, listen. Yes, indeed. But still, you catch a doll, something made of plastic with clothing on it is going to burn.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I mean. That thing
If
should have
you
went in the
take if you
ground.
take a knife to a doll, you can cut it apart.
It will cut. Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently,
no.
this thing was indestructible until the simple thing of throwing it away. It was thrown away into the trash, right? With the garbage men when they picked it up. Yet now it's back in the house in the attic.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say I'm not so sure I believe that, but I will say this. I think I need more facts with that one because I think that similar things like that do happen. Hey, you guys, I had hauntings in my house. Remember when I took them out of my house? Those trinkets,
Mhm.
put them in the garage. They were
Mhm.
gone, but they didn't go away. They were still in my garage the next spring when I opened up my garage.
Mhm.
And then me though, I dumped it at a dump, and probably somebody else inherited that
Yeah,
bad
yeah. That's
voodoo.
probably it. Ended up
Right.
with somebody.
You
Yeah,
know?
the closest thing they could get to that, that it could show itself to, probably got it. So you just gave that problem to somebody else.
That doll's Jackie Hall says that doll's Bernie in the pit eyes on the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's you just can't throw things away, right? Especially if it's true and it's possessed by some energy.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to bury that thing.
So you say burying is the way to get rid of these things, then, Brandy?
Mm-hmm. You bury them with salt and iron, and they should just stay there. Yeah. Monica, you gonna look that up?
No, because I'm not taking any dolls from the pawn shop
Oh gosh,
that are going to
no.
be possessed that I'm going to have to bury with iron and
Right.
salt
Oh boy.
and
You know.
flame.
And I definitely wouldn't bury them on my own property. That's for dang sure.
Heck
No, I bury them on my neighbors at least.
We would be going for a little trip,
Yeah, we'd be in we'd be in a national forest. We'd be deep, we'd be deep in there.
Right.
Or somebody I really didn't like. I'd do that.
Say, I was thinking of you. I thought I'd get you a present. I thought of you when I got it.
Yeah.
And here you go.
Enjoy.
Scott's Life Monica Scott's Life, who gifted the memberships, says Santa Rosa. Is that where the vampires are?
I think that was Santa Carla.
Santa Carla? Okay.
Oh, that's where the Lost Boys took place.
Oh.
Which was Santa Cruz is where they filmed it down south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did like that movie, by the way.
It's a good movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there were vampires. There's a lot of goth kids back in the day in Santa Rosa. They all hung out down in Railroad Square.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of vampires, man, I did a great show at Krista. Dennis Carroll was on. We talked vampires and werewolves last Tuesday. Everybody go check that out. You'll like it. And Dennis Carroll is coming with you guys on actually Halloween.
Yes.
That's going to be a great show. I love
Yes.
Dennis Carroll, man. He knows so much about everything. He's a very talented guy.
Yeah, and we thought he'd be a great person because he's just a wealth of information. If it's creepy and it's right up our alley, so he's gonna be good. He's gonna be great.
I've had him on for the last 3 Halloweens. I've been doing this 3 years now. He's been on every Halloween. Well, I got him early because he gets books up like nobody's business.
Right. We just happened to have gotten lucky and got him.
Oh yeah. Are you looking up something, Monica?
No, I'm trying to read a comment.
Oh,
And I don't have my glasses on, so I have to concentrate really hard.
It's like, shut up, I can't see.
Be quiet so I can hear. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Shut up, I can't see.
Yeah, exactly.
hey, let me ask you guys: is this fact or fiction? Speaking, it is already October 13th now. Halloween's not too far out. Seriously, on a serious note, is Halloween? Are there more hauntings on Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, or Devil's Night?
Well, I mean, the veil's thinner.
So why would the veil be thinner?
It's Did I know the answer to that at one point in time? I did. Do I remember the answer to that right now? No.
So there's a reason why.
It's basically folklore where they say that is the time where the spirits would come try to take you or inhabit your body. That's why the children would dress up in costumes so they would not be recognized or seen. They would just think there were other little monsters running around and they could not be taken.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the gist of the story, not the whole story, but the gist of the story.
Yeah, and this is Crystal's kind of a creepy comment. The end of the season, the dead time. I do like it though, Crystal.
Ooh.
I mean, there is the turning of the season, right? So if
Yeah.
you're of a particular religion, there is so it's the turning of light into dark, right? So it's
Right.
when the god of the underworld comes up to rule, and
Right.
people associate that with death, right? Winter, well,
Right.
fall and winter is the seasons of death, and that's where the one that I study. So Diana would go under, and Sir Nunez would come up, and he would rule in her place, and she would be in the underworld for a while, and then they would switch places in the spring. So that's the turning of the seasons.
Here's
So
a new.
it's about that.
Yep.
Time.
Yeah, here's a new person. Desert Rat. Hi, Desert. It's the in between time. Not summer, not winter, not a meadow, not a forest. So I guess the in between time makes a little sense. It seems like the in between time is a good way to put it. When is the first day of fall supposed to be? Is that September 21st or October
Yes.
21st?
It was the 22nd or 23rd this year
Okay.
of September.
You know, you guys, I had this Dogman story I wanted to do, and I would do it, but you know what? I'm starting to develop a sore throat, and I can tell my voice is starting to get screwy.
Well, it's time to rest.
Yeah, because the story is too long. We'll have to do it next week. But my voice right now, all of a sudden, boom, it hurts.
Well, we're talking about spooky stuff. Probably telling you to shut your mouth.
Maybe, I don't know. It is a spooky season. I always call Halloween. October is like the holiday month.
It's kukui season.
Yes, I remember you said that last week.
It's all month long. I don't care what they say.
Well,
It's
for me, I'm kind of cool. I mean, in the fact that I do dig the holidays. I always, it's probably because I was brought up. My parents were great at it. I mean, they made all the holidays fantastic. I'm fortunate. I know a lot of people. Holiday season is the opposite, and sometimes I have to curb my enthusiasm for the holidays, which I like that show, by the way. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but anyway, yeah, because I get it. Some people, sad time for people. October, November, December, I dig. January is my birthday. Okay. February sucks. March sucks. Then that's how I view it. Then I like the summer. But yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And boy, my God, my voice is starting to really hurt. Getting worse and worse. I don't know what's going on here. I hope I didn't. I hope nobody cast anything on me.
Put that voodoo on you. Did Ricky Bobby put that voodoo on you?
Yeah, I might have to make me up some witch's brew. You guys see that? Did you guys see that? I was kidding, half-ass kidding. That picture I sent you guys. I said to my lovely witches, I'm going to buy you guys a bottle of this, the Witch's Brew, when I was at the shop. Oh, it was on. It was on the big. It was on the massive group text.
Oh, the big.
Where there's 40. Yeah, I had to delete it the other day. It was 458 threads.
My goodness.
Every time I clear it out, I get 100 threads in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's almost like I had to remove myself from it.
And it's almost like you're doing half of it yourself too. So don't even.
I do not talk on there.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I do talk on it, but I would not talk on it if I didn't get a text on it.
Yours are mostly football.
Yeah. I was like, it's football.
Yeah.
If it's unrelated to the rest of it.
Tonight, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do have to text that I didn't respond to. For people in chat might know him. I did know Tom Cardos. He passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Prayers out to his family. I know I've spoke with his wife a little bit on Facebook over the years. Tom's been on my show twice. I've been on his show twice over the last few years. Cool guy. He passed away out of a motorcycle accident. Last night, and they hit me kind of. Well, I don't know. I never met the man, but when you know somebody and talk to him in person several times, I don't care whether you're personal with him or not. It's still kind of
yeah. It hit us kind of weird too because he's been on our show and vice versa. I mean, it was weird, you know.
Yeah. So prayers out to him and his family. He was a very nice guy. I talked to him many times, in fact. So yeah. So. But with that being said, yeah, boy, I gotta go get me some Witch's Brew for this throat.
There you go.
Lots of honey.
Yeah, honey and maybe a shot of whiskey. Yeah, not before bed. I'll be up all night.
Yeah, maybe some, I don't know, frog eyes or whatever else it calls for these days.
Frog eyes.
Boil some salamander tails and throw some honey in there.
Oh, now that'd be some Witch's Brew. Yeah.
There you go.
I wish we all lived closer. We could have a Halloween party and make up our own Witch's Brew. We could get, what do you call it? The colander?
Cauldron.
Cauldron. Yes, thanks. And just, bring a bunch of crap. Don't tell anyone what you put in it. And everyone just throws something in there. Kind of mix it together. I like doing stuff like that.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
What is all in here?
What is Monica feeding me?
Yeah. 2 drinks later, you're like, whoa, come on now. What is in there?
Right.
I'll never tell.
I'm not going to say.
I've got all kinds of things in me garden.
Yes. Right. Thanks to Scott Life for the memberships, pirate memberships. All right, thanks to everybody for coming on in. We are on 7 days a week, you guys, literally. We don't give out the schedules. I don't. Too many of us. Subscribe to Bigfoot Mr. Rob on YouTube. The Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast on YouTube. Monica Rawls, Our Paranormal World. Donnie Cho Says Stuff on YouTube. And, of course, Paranormal Paul. But here's the thing. I don't care if you subscribe. Turn on the alert bell if you do. That way you won't miss a show. Hit all, and you'll get them all.
I care if you subscribe.
I did subscribe.
I know. I'm 50 subscribers away from being monetized.
Yay.
50.
Okay, so everybody out there, go to Our Paranormal World and please subscribe to Monica. She's so close. Let's see if we can push her over tonight.
We have 75. Hey, listen, you guys. There's 75 in chat. I bet you that 30 of you ain't subscribed to Monica.
Oh, but you don't know who's watching. So I mean,
there's people watching. Well, hey, listen, hang on. I'm gonna see how many people are watching. I forgot to bring that up. Let me just see really quick. For all you people out there watching that are not in the chat room, let me pull this little. I love doing this. Let me see. So, holy cow. I love you people that are watching. Yeah, we got more than enough. We got 319 watching and 75 in the chat. Wow. Thank you for all you people watching, not participating in chat. You're just as important as our people in chat. You help drive the shows. So yeah, we could definitely get you to we can get you 50 tonight if everybody listens to
Yeah.
this.
All right. So everybody go to Our Paranormal World with Monica Rollins. Do it. Let's see if
Yes.
we can push her over tonight.
Do it. Monica, send me the feedback in the morning. I want to hear this.
I will.
Very good.
I'll put it in our group hostage situation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. There you go. Very good. Thanks everybody once again for coming in. Thanks for people listening now and the people they'll be watching the replay tonight. Well, yeah, today's Sunday. Yeah,
It's
we got
Sunday
nothing.
now.
It's Sunday now. Sunday for me. Oh, Sunday for you guys now too.
Yep.
Probably most people. Cool. I just got to find the exit button. I just found it. Thanks, Monica. Thanks, Brandi. Thanks, everyone in chat. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.